Metal plus hammer plus fire equals love. That's how I describe how I fell in love with metalworking 30 years ago. I always knew that I wanted to be an artist, and when I was a high school student, I had the opportunity to make a welded steel sculpture. And once I touched metal, I knew that that was my material that I needed to work with. I went to art college thinking that I was going to be a sculpture major, but I took a jewelry elective class, and I have been making jewelry ever since. After all, jewelry is small-scale sculpture, right? Hi, I'm Danielle Miller-Gilliam, and this is my studio and storefront in Greenville, South Carolina, called Make Made Jewelry. I grew up in a steel mill town in western Pennsylvania. I like to think that being surrounded by old industrial buildings and bridges and railroads, juxtaposed by beautiful rolling hills of the Appalachian Mountains, greatly affected my design sensibilities. Simple geometric shapes are the building blocks of my designs. That's pretty much where everything starts. I definitely subscribe to the less is more design philosophy. My current body of work is really influenced by interesting gemstones. Gemstones that are unique, one of a kind. They're not necessarily perfect or precious. Some are even cut so that the surface is raw, displaying the crystalline structure of the mineral. I like to find interesting stones and play with them, move them around on paper. Many times the design changes or morphs as I'm working. It's like the piece tells you what it wants to be. One of the things that drew me to metal was the strength of the material. I really like the fact that I have to work hard to manipulate it, to do what I want it to do by hammering and bending and sawing and soldering. The physicalness of it is really appealing to me. Jewelry is really intimate. It's small and precious. It comes in direct contact with our skin. It freely moves with the wearer. Many times it commemorates a milestone or a joy in someone's life. And sometimes it's even passed down through the generations. And I find that to be really interesting, and how the story behind the making of the piece continues with the wearer. I hope that my jewelry brings someone joy, and that maybe even someday it will be passed down.